The March 2021 INSHORE box, let's go. Righto, let's stick with tradition, and I'm going to start off like I always do with top water working deeper. So first off in the box here we have the World Standards Guns stick bait. This is a 140 size stick bait. Now you'll notice there's no hooks on it at all, but don't worry, we know what we're doing. We've got the Decoy 120 pound class split rings, so you can put on your Scorpic 1.0 treble hooks onto this as well. So it's one big combination there with your big stick bait, your heavy duty split rings, and some super strong trebles so that you can whack all that together and be ready to fish surface for either some tuna, some GTs, some reef fish, anything that hits top water lures, you're gonna be ready to go for. Now these are fairly simple to use, fairly straightforward. Tie line on the front, not the back. You'll get a better swim action out of it that way. Obviously put your trebles and everything onto the lure as well. That is optional. It's a faster, quick release if you do not put your trebles on there. But we recommend putting the trebles on there. Once you've got it all set up, ready to go, you're gonna pop a long cast out and you just work your rod up and down as you wind it. So as you wind up and down, and this thing will just dart left and right, that's for a slower retrieve. Now don't be scared as well to get a faster retrieve and just get this thing just skittering across the top, especially for your faster fish like your GTs or even your tuna and stuff like that as well. We'll absolutely smash it. And a lot of the time that's my preferred retrieve for a big stick bait like that. Now completely opposite sort of fishing as that is micro jigging. So we've included this month the Gamoku Rocker. And these things are absolute dynamite. They have a super slow sink and a very wide erratic action as well. You will, 9 times out of 10, if you're fishing with a good jigging rod, you will feel this doot, doot, doot thump as it's rocking all the way down, hence why they call it the Gamoku Rocker jig. These are normally my first jig I'll tie on when I'm chasing such things as snapper, but you can also use them for many other reefies as well. But it is a slow jig, so you're not speed jigging this up and down. You just lift your bail arm over, or if you're fishing overhead, click it into gear or out of gear, let it sink down, and on that sink it's gonna flutter down, let it hit the bottom. I'll normally lift it up a little bit off the bottom, like a foot or two, obviously if you've got a sounder, depending whereabouts those fish are holding. Once you lift it up off the bottom, just slow jig up and down. I'll do maybe 1, 2, 3, and then a wind on the way down just so you got less line, and then you're going to be jigging slightly higher up in the water column. Do this over and over again, you'll get higher and higher and higher. If you've got a sounder, you'll know that once you're out of the bite zone, drop it back down. If you don't have a sounder, probably keep it closer to the structure on the bottom of the water column. Now if you want something that's going to be a little bit more covering both grounds, I guess, then you jump over to your Berkeley Shimmer Shad. Now these things, you can work vertically, you get a lot of vibration just straight up and down, or you can on the cast as well. And on the cast I will let it sink down and do a couple hops into a slow roll, pause, let it sink back down, couple hops. Mainly, so those hops, those short sharp jerks, is going to get it kicked into gear and a lot of vibration and kicking up sand and soot off the bottom as well. The problem with that is it's got 2 big trebles hanging on the bottom, so you may snag up a fair bit if you're fishing rocky outcrops or even a heavy reef as well. That's where you're going to opt for one of these next 2. So we've got 2 soft plastic options here. The first one is your Demiki Loach, so these are a big curl tail plastic. The next one's also a curl tail, but this is one from our friends at Chase Baits. This is the Chase Baits Curly Bait. So a long, slender profile with your Demiki with a big curl tail on it. And these curly baits have a thicker body on them but a smaller tail. So essentially what I'm going to do there, the Demiki with the slower profile, I'm going to work them a little bit slower. I just want that tail just doing big, wide, whatever it does, the tail thing. That's the scientific term for it now, the tail thing. And with the Chase Baits Curly Bait, I'm probably going to work these a little bit quicker. Now, if you're fishing quite deep water, you want to jump up to a heavier jig head, maybe like even a 1 ounce, 1.5 ounce. You just got to gauge that on the depth that you're fishing. But that's it for the saltwater inshore box this month. If you want to check it out or any of the others in the range, just head to www.tackleclub.com.au, pick a box that's right for you, and welcome to the club.